Hello, friends. For those of you watching the replay, will you please...
I'm watching Minecraft right now.
Cool.
You even have an episode.
Oh, thank you, son.
You're welcome.
All right. Will you please, for those of you watching the replay, will you please like or comment on the video just so I know
Smack
that you're...
that like button.
Just so I know that you're watching.
Smack that like button and smash that subscribe.
This is not going to... Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye. Please smash that like button.
Thanks, son. So today... Well, let's talk about yoga first. Hey, Alessandra, what's up? I started yoga again. I always talk about yoga at the beginning. I restarted the 30 days of True with Adrian because I realized that there was an email component to it. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, well, I want to restart. I want to get the email component because she says a lot of really great things. And I just wanted to be a part of that. Hey, Stone. She's also here, of course. So I restarted that, and of course the first day one is motive, and I was going through a couple of the days. I think I'd gotten to like day 5 or day 6, and I was going through and I didn't really realize what my motive was behind doing the yoga. Of course, like I have my own daily practice, but then I'm incorporating the 30 days of yoga challenge because I want to deepen my practice. I want to make my practice regular. I want to bring it into my everyday and really just make my life a living practice of yoga. But then I realized, what's really my motive here? And my motive is because I want to learn to follow my bliss. And following my bliss... Because a lot of times I go off of fear. I hear things and I'm like, oh, let me go do this because I'm afraid of what's going to happen, or I'm afraid of how this person's going to react, or I fear the unknown. But instead, I'm really working toward moving from my bliss, finding what makes me happy, finding what makes me happy. Finding I am happy, or, it's that thing where... Yes, darling. Yes, darling. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Finding, what makes me happy and then moving from that space. And finding my joy, moving from bliss. It's just a process. I used to wait tables. For 13 years, I worked in the service industry. I used to wait tables. And I am so into that, gratification. I used to drink, abuse drugs and whatnot, and I just love that immediate gratification. I just want it now. I want it now. And then, with the internet and everything, my son's iPad, it takes forever for things to, load. I'm like, what is this, dial-up? But it's taking time to, the process, realizing that there's a process and things like that. Breaking away from the instant gratification and really coming into compounded interest type stuff. Just taking my time and putting a little bit of concerted effort into it each day. The main topic I wanted to discuss today is alchemy. Alchemy, I wrote down the definition. It said, a seemingly magical process. Everything's a process. A seemingly magical process of transformation, creation, or combination. And basically, it was a whole bunch of people that were like, I'm going to turn lead into gold, right? Alchemy. Turning ordinary metals into gold so that, you could spend it. And a lot of times, I like to think of stories and things that I heard from yesteryear and make them metaphors. So if I just take my ordinary self, how I was raised and not even trying to change anything, and I want to turn myself into gold, how do I do that? And I think of it like that, alchemy, not just as I'm going to get rich quick scheme, but rather taking myself and changing things and becoming golden and radiating. You know, you think of gold and it like radiates and things of that nature. And like what is the catalyst? Like really thinking about this stuff, like the Philosopher's Stone, and really just like getting into self-alchemy and self-transformation. What does that mean? What does that entail? And I feel as though I have been working with alchemy in some respects, because, you know, when we were younger, we always thought like, oh no, my parents got these disease, grandpa got this disease, which means my dad's gonna get this disease, which means I'm gonna get this disease. And, you know, we felt locked by our DNA, we felt locked by our location. And yet now the internet has connected us. I have friends in, where was it? Is it Zimbabwe? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I just on the Facebook machine, just type like, hey, friend from Zimbabwe. Like, what does that even mean? You know? I'm not limited by my location. I'm not limited. And now I'm realizing that the way that I eat affects how my DNA expression, or how my DNA expresses itself. So if I feed my body nutrients and treat it well and stretch it out and things like that, then it's going to it's going to give back. Like, you get in what you put, like you get out what you put in, right? And if you're putting in, if you're putting in good things and things that your body can use as fuel, right? Your body will then give you so much more, so many more years and flexibility, pain-free. I used to be really in pain. My knees were just like, and even now sometimes I feel them. Stone. Hi, butts. But even now I still feel them, you know, but in the same respect, like, I can tell they are definitely a lot cushier than they ever have been before. Because of course they want you to think that you can't regrow cartilage and stuff like that. You can. I learned how to use my muscles. I started toning my muscles around my joints, and instead of moving my joint, I move my muscles. And I find that walking now is no longer painful. I used to have to stay in bed and just creak. I used to like lay in bed just like this for like hours. And I would take Vicodin, and then I would be like a zombie person, and I like couldn't sleep, but I like couldn't wake up. I don't know. It was a really weird time in my life. But yeah, just going from that kind of living, feeling stuck and trapped in my body with my crazy thoughts, and then now, and I mean now it's a process. It's alchemy. It's a seemingly magical process. So I know where I was, and I know, like, I have some kind of idea of where I'm going, and here I am just on the path. But I look back and I'm like, whoa, I used to do that. Like, I used to be like that. It's really humbling. And I'm very thankful for my ability to work through it and to stick with it. I think sticking with it is most important. And commitment. Commitment is huge. I had to commit to myself to be like, hey, you there, let's take care of me. Like, oh, Stone. I swear that was the baby. I used to watch RuPaul's Drag Race. I love RuPaul. And I used to be like, you know, she says, oh my gosh, why can't I think of it right now? Of course. How in the hell are you gonna love yourself if you can't, I don't know, how in the hell are you going to expect somebody else to love you if you don't love yourself? Something like that. Great. Of course I would forget it. It's like something I've like lived my life on for like the past 6 years and I can't even remember what the phrase is. But how in the hell are you going to expect how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Something like that. And I just remember going through like so many failed relationships and being like, nobody loves me. And then thinking like, but do I love myself? Am I showing myself love? Am I being there for myself? The answer is no, I was not. I was harming myself greatly. Even after I stopped like cutting, I was like, oh, at least I'm not cutting anymore. It's like, okay, but there's more ways to harm yourself than just cutting. So, you know, but it takes a lot of self-reflection and whatnot to like go down that path. But thank you, baby. I'm just gonna take this from you. This too. Yep. Just random notebooks. I have so many notebooks. Here's another one. But yeah, so transformations, alchemy. What does that even mean? How does one even get to that point where they're ready to change their lives? How do you even like realize that you're what? Duh. I don't see the dog. The dog is inside. Yeah, how does one even realize like that their life needs changing? And like, does everybody need to change their life? Like, is that even necessary? Everybody wants to change the world, and yet nobody wants to change themselves. I have been, the other day we were laying in bed and I was talking to my partner and I was like, I want to sing. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. He was like, oh my God. And I was like, I know, I'm almost done. And I sang like the whole little bit. And yeah, like I'm starting with the man in the mirror, the woe man in the mirror. I'm asking her to change her ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Thanks, Michael Jackson. I shall. That was like my jam, by the way. She thinks she wants a nap. But yeah, alchemy. Alchemy. Transformations. What really got to you or me or whatever, what really gets to a person is they're like, you know what? This right here? Nah. I don't know. Just something to think about. And my motive, finding my bliss, working toward and moving from my bliss. Like, this brings joy to my heart. Let's do that. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Well, I'm going to stop this video because clearly she doesn't want me to do it. Hashtag when you have a 1-year-old. Oh, is that a Sharpie? She's got a Sharpie. Yeah, so motive, bliss, alchemy. Wait, no, the camera's over here, butts. Right here. Look into this camera. Right here. Right here. Look. Right here. Oh, okay. She just got a new tooth. Can you see? She feels real good about it. Okay. Well, before she does something horrible, take care, y'all. Thanks for watching.